mean, at the center of it all, if you look at an economy that invites investors in to set up manufacturing, at the core of it is power availability and cost of it, because everybody else will talk about cost of doing business, a good environment for doing business, but if you don't have enough power, and even power that is available is expensive and costly, no one wants to invest. So from where you sit as EPRA then, with all these concerns that do exist, there ought to be conversations around incentivizing companies that are setting up in the country to provide this power, as well as having conversations around the cost of electricity for us to say the economy is moving forward. From where it is you sit and the cost of power, is it a concern that is stopping the economy from moving forward at the pace at which it ought to?
Thank you, Dennis. And yes, that is a major concern, and that's a very good question. When you look at the manufacturing sector in Kenya, we are maybe 7-8% of the GDP. But we want to take it to about 15% of the GDP. And in order to do that, then you need to actually reduce the cost of electricity. So what we have done, even with the current tariffs that we have what we call time of use tariff. So we know that during the night, when almost the domestics goes to sleep, the industries, most of them operate 24 hours. But we do believe that we have geothermal power, we have wind power, and also we do have hydropower during the night that can actually be utilized by industries and actually increase their production. And that's why we actually introduce a time of use tariff, whereby, like, when you're consuming those extra units during the night, then you benefit from a 50% reduction. But it came with some conditions, which the conditions we have been actually discussed with the Kenya Association of Manufacturers, the Ministry of Trade and Industry, the National Treasury, and the Ministry of Energy. And actually beginning this month of August, we are going to actually effect by removing some of those thresholds that were very constraining. So that if you are consuming units at night, then you are going to be actually charged at 50%. And that is being done actually to encourage manufacturers. And so that then if you are consuming from 10 p.m. to 6 in the morning, then you benefit from a 50% reduction on your energy charge rate. And that will go a long way actually to introduce tariffs. And to actually lower the tariffs, the overall tariff the manufacturers are paying. And this works for when you have smart meters, for example, because we have a meter that reads what we call high rate and raw rate. Because initially we had like small commercials, like the small industry that their meter was not smart. It could not actually differentiate between the high rate and raw rate. And some of them were not benefiting. But I think Kenya Power right now, they have done a proactive expansion of having more smart meters. And almost all the industries now, almost the 4,000 industries we have, they are now on smart meters, as well as small commercial. They're also working to ensure they have smart meters. But I think going forward, this is just a stand measure, because KPLC pulled out the tariff application they had made, which was supposed to be effected in July 1st. So meaning we are now still on the tariff that was applicable in the month of June. We cannot change it until they submit again and we go out to the stakeholders, for example. But what I can say is that the future is very bright with now the power market regulations in place. Having even we have also other special tariffs like special economic zone tariffs for 10 shillings, and also EVs. We are also having electric mobility. The number of vehicles in Kenya, actually, in the last 3 years, we have seen an increase of almost 40,000 vehicles. And our consumption of electricity actually has increased from almost 1 gigawatt hour to about 10, actually, gigawatt hours. We are talking about 10 million kilowatt hours that now are going to EVs. The reason why EVs are consuming more electricity, the buses you are seeing. And worldwide, public transport is usually driven by electric mobility, using electricity. And so we are designing tariffs that are going to be powering transportation, powering industries, SMEs, but also the most important is having a market where other instruments, as I said, it's good to joke about Singapore because that is where we want to go. Singapore, they have so many instruments where banks actually provide specific interest, specific concessional loans to companies that are investing in the sector. And you'll be seeing even in our country anytime.